What's up, gang? It's your boy Chocolate Jesus back in the booth. Early morning Saturday, man. We got to get to this Colorado versus Nebraska. At Colorado, Deion Sanders, Coach Prime. Y'all know what time it is. We definitely got to get into this game. It's not too much really to talk about, but it is a couple important things and some stuff to watch for that, you guys wouldn't really know because nobody's really interested in Colorado unless you're a fan or unless you're a former player or, athlete there, you an alumni, something like that. But a lot of people gonna start getting onto this stuff, man, because Coach Prime is just A1 news. He's breaking news at every turn, honestly. So we're gonna go ahead and get into it, man. Basically, um, today, let's see what time they even play. I think they play at noon. We'll have to see. Yep, so they play Saturday. Damn, I don't even know what the fucking Saturday, September 9th, 12 p.m. Eastern. So for me, they're gonna be playing right at noon, Big Ten kickoff. Uh, my bad, y'all. I just woke up, man. I had to get straight to this video, man. I didn't do no prep, no notes or nothing, man. I'm looking at the screen right now that just got the game up. Let me show y'all. That's just what I'm looking at, man. I just searched through this little article, man. I was scanning through just trying to see what time they play and what's the spread and all that. But I didn't get nothing ready for y'all today, man. I just woke up. I had to drop this. And I just want to give y'all my thoughts and ideas about the whole situation. I didn't even brush my hair, bro. Like, it's crazy right now. But it's Saturday. We watching college football. We at the house. I'm gonna be doing this game cast, man. I'm gonna be on Twitch. I'm gonna be on YouTube. It's going up. I ain't going nowhere. Don't worry about nothing. I'll be right here on the patio. If I gotta, handle my business, get my mind right. I'm gonna be right here at the station, right here in the cockpit at the headquarters, handling business. So, one thing you guys need to know, we're gonna do Nebraska first, since they're visiting Colorado, and I'm pretty sure everybody got a taste of Colorado this week, nonstop in the media. So we're gonna talk about Nebraska. Nebraska is a really bad team historically against other conferences on away games. I mean, they're not historically a bad team, but recently they haven't been any good. Nebraska used to be a really good football program back before the 2000s, back in the 90s, 70s, 80s, something like that. Somewhere they were those guys. Nebraska was one of them. It's a bad team. Like I said, not too many stars on their roster. Not anybody you would know, anybody you should care about, honestly. Until it's draft season, you won't know any of these guys. They did lose last week to the Minnesota Golden Gophers at home. So I don't have too much faith in them today playing against the Colorado Buffaloes. Let me change this screen for y'all, man. Just give y'all something to look at. So they lost last week. Colorado won last week versus TCU. We don't know what that TCU team is. Time can go by and we look back at that game and say, hey man, TCU was horrible this year. That victory is an empty calorie victory. We could look back at this win and say, man, TCU beat everybody except Colorado. That means TCU's a really good team. That win means more. The Nebraska win, there's no way we're going to look at that. There's no way we're going to look at that later in the season and realize that Minnesota is just a really, really, really good team. They could be a good team, but if Nebraska's not better than them, they're not a good team. They're just a bad team. I don't care if Minnesota was really good. Nebraska should be better. If you're not better than them, you're not what you're supposed to be. You're not where you're supposed to be at. You're under the standard. You're not a good team. Nebraska has a really bad roster as well. Like I said, No stars, nobody you would know. Not really any positions of strength other than maybe the O-line, D-line. I don't know about their running backs, but I'm pretty sure they can run the ball. I mean, that's not a problem. It mainly is just going to be, like I said, man, the players, man, to match up with these Colorado guys. Colorado has a great offense. They have a good roster, but not particularly a good team. We don't know what they are yet. But they have a really good roster because they have stars in positions. So if I have 2 or 3 stars in certain positions, I can just rely on that position. And if that position can't get it done versus the other position, let me go to one of my other positions that I have stars at. They can't get it done, I got another position. Like I have waves and I have A, B, C, D, E, F plans, backup plans. When you have players, when you have stars that you can count on. When you don't have someone that you can count on like that, you kind of just got to take it for what it is, man. Like, if cornerback number 1 is getting cooked today by Travis, there's pretty much nothing you can do. You can help him with a safety, but then that's going to open up one of these other stars that Dion has, because now I could throw it to, what's the guy? Not Hooks, Horn, the other receiver. Last name Horn. I think he's number 5. If you guys start putting a safety and the corner on Travis, that means I got a good window over here for my boy Horn. He's finna eat. If you guys just start, dime packaging and bringing in extra corners or lightening up the box because we killing you through the air, we're going to run the ball. And like I said, honestly, that is what Nebraska should do. They should force Dion to run the ball because they're not that good at it, even if they wanted to. They're not that good at running the ball. They'll kill you out there on the perimeter with those skill players. They'll kill you. Shedeur Sanders, cool as ice, sit back there, crush you, pick you apart, Tom Brady style. So you just got to make those guys run the ball. What I'm not worried about for Nebraska is, like I said, their coaching, Matt Rhule. It's not really something to worry about. It's something to watch. So I would watch his adjustments, his tempo, like how he comes out with his offense, whether they're going fast, whether they're going slow to try to, see what Dion's doing and read everything and, just trying to get comfortable and acclimate themselves, or whether they're just, hey, man, we finna go out here and just run the ball down their throats, man. We know that's our only hope. They got a quarterback by the name of Sims. What is his name? Jeff Sims. That guy should worry you. Don't throw the ball. Matt Rhule. Oh, yeah. Matt Rhule's their coach. Decent coach. But like I said, no, Matt Rhule, don't let that guy throw. Like I said, man, not worried about the trenches. Not worried about their coaching. Not worried about their run defense versus this Colorado team in particular. And, like I said, I'm not really worried about the coaching adjustments. I just want to see them. Because that was the problem with TCU. Kendall Briles, Sonny Dykes, the other coaches from TCU, they made 0 adjustments. They actually came into the game with no game plan and no plan of action, no idea. They just said, we're going to come out here and we're going to see what we got, man. We're going to work out the kinks. We're going to iron the rust. You know what I'm saying? We're going to knock off the rust. We're going to iron out the kinks. That's what they just planned on doing last week. And Coach Dion in Colorado, they had another plan for them. They said, okay, well, guess what? We're going to send this running back out of the backfield since you guys know we're not running it. And you're backing up pass coverage and you're trying to rush an extra guy, blitz a guy to get to my quarterback because he has time. We're just going to send the running back out, delayed loop, delayed out. And he's going to catch that swing pass, and he's going to take it to the house on y'all ass every time. He's going to take it for a first down on y'all ass every time. And on that play that you do have a guy manned up or spying my running back, I'm going to just force the ball to Horn or Hunter. I'm just force it. It doesn't matter. You're going to open up a window, and my son's going to see it somewhere. So, man, it was just... They didn't game plan well for Dion. But like I said, man, you don't know what to look for with Dion. There's nothing to game plan. There's nothing to research. You have nothing to go off of. What are you going to watch? Jackson State? That's not even the same team. They don't have the same weaponry. So why would I watch them and put together a game plan on that? So, man, it was just probably difficult, man. But now we need to see what these guys got now that they got tape on these Colorado kids. We got a little bit of tape on them. So we need to see. I don't trust Nebraska to get it done, though. But I don't trust Colorado because we don't know what they are. I don't know what TCU was. I need at least 2 to 3 more weeks to start knowing exactly what these teams are without even having to break them down and to know what they should be like. So that's coming soon. Don't worry about anything, y'all. Back on Nebraska, more Nebraska. Man, I'm worried about their DBs. I'm extremely worried about their DBs. These guys are not the strong unit of this team. They never usually are, but they're not particularly good this year. These guys are going to have to play sound technique football. They're not the athletes that they should. I mean, if it was any other school, then not any other school, but another Colorado team, if it was a different Colorado team, I would say that you guys, shouldn't have to worry about it. You guys would have the athletes, just based on Big Ten and a bottom feeder Pac-12 that the Colorado Buffaloes are. But with these specific athletes at the skill positions, I don't think you guys have the better athletes. And I don't know if you guys have the better game plan. Because Dion, we get to that right now. Dion, we don't know what his coaching is. He might just be a hell of a motivator. He might be a hell of an inspirer. He might be just a guy who knows what it looks like. You know what I'm saying? Like, he can see it. He can see the talent. He might just not be able to coach the talent. But what we do know is he hires good coaches who do that for him. Just like with Nick Saban. Nick Saban always says, if I'm the smartest guy in the room, this is a dumbass room. This is not a room I want to be in if I'm the smartest guy. I need a couple motherfuckers in here smarter than me. That way, I know this is a good room. Because I think I'm pretty smart. But if there's guys in here who I know are smarter than me, I know this is a good room. If I'm the smartest guy in here, no matter how smart I am, this is a dumb fucking room. Because I'm only so smart. I'm not a genius. I'm not that guy. I consider myself smart, but I'm not that guy. I need a couple of those guys in the room. That's what Nick Saban says. That's why he always goes and gets a Steve Sarkisian, a Lane Kiffin, a Tommy Rees, a Brian Daboll, a Kirby Smart. That's, what good coaches do. They delegate coaching responsibility to be the best coach that they could be. So, like I said, man, Colorado is just really well coached. Nebraska is really well coached too, but they don't have the athletes to go hand in hand with the coaching like that. They're trying to rebuild and bring back a legacy. Matt Rhule flamed out of the NFL, so he has to kind of try to prove it now at the college level again. I'm worried about the quarterback, Jeff Sims. So worried about him. Especially with this type of a defense, I'm worried. But we're not going to get too much on that, man. Y'all going to watch the game and y'all going to see it for yourself. What else, man? What else we want to talk about? Nebraska needs to control the ball. They have to control the ball. You cannot get in a shootout with this team. You cannot go down there and not score 7. You can't go down there and live on field goals. 3 points is not going to get it done. Colorado go and get a touchdown and they erase 2 of your long drives that turn into field goals. You cannot do that. You got to, it's scary to keep this game at like a 20-21 or a 28-21 type of game. Anything under 30 versus this Colorado team is going to be scary because I feel like in the fourth quarter with their backs against the wall, if they're down 14, they can go get 2 touchdowns. You just have to make sure you go score an extra one to keep them down 1. Like, you know what I'm saying? You have to score points. You have to put something on the board fucking with these guys. You have to. Until they get to more major competition, like a Oregon or a USC, you have to put points on the board if you're Nebraska. You have to. And if you get to 40, you better hope they don't get to 40. Because if it's one of them type of games, that's their wheelhouse right there. That's their fun house. They do that. That's what they want to happen. Like TCU did not run the ball. They were worried about scoring points without running the ball and taking time. You got to take time and score points. That's why I said, man, you got to control that clock and score 7, not 3. No field goals. We need 6s. We need touchdowns. We need all that. That's pretty much all I want to say about Nebraska, bro. I don't really have anything else to say other than what I said, man. You guys aren't a good team, so you have to play sound ball. Your coaching has to be immaculate with the adjustments. Like I said, TCU didn't try any trick stuff. It was bad coaching, bad pre-planning because they came out there and underestimated their opponent. They said, hey, man, we just going to beat the shit out these guys. We don't need nothing in our trick bag. You always need some in your trick bag. It's just a bad sign when you go to the trick bag in the first quarter. So like I said, always have a trick bag. Just don't use it because that's a bad sign. If you got to use your trick bag, use your trick bag. There's no shame in that. But if it's us versus Colorado and it's 0-0 or 7-0 and we pull out a trick play to get our 7 and tie the score, it's going to be a rough day for y'all, man. You got a trick bag to get on the board? That's ugly. So like I said, man, just have a trick bag. Have a plan, Matt Rhule. Have a plan. Because Colorado got a trick bag. They just not going to pull it out unless we need to. Unless we down 3, we down, and we got to get in field goal range. We got to get a touchdown last minute. We got a 4th down and 4th and 4. Trick bag, thank you. Deion going to dial it up. But on to Colorado. Great offense. I'm not too confident in their defense. I know on the perimeters and the edges they could probably get it done, but from what I seen out of TCU last week, if that kid had a deep ball, they could have connected on a lot of things. TCU could have had a lot of motion. They could have had a lot of plays where they would flip the field with if that kid had a deep ball. It's just he had a horrible deep ball. That baseball kid was out there throwing fucking pop flies. And he was missing people by 5 yards to the left or to the right or 2 yards behind them or 10 yards in front of them. It was crazy. You got to be me to track that ball. I'm like that. But these guys aren't. Anyway, that's another discussion for another day, man. Y'all going to see that on a live vlog. We're going to get out here and start playing some football with some of these young cats, man. Cooking them up. Anyway, great offense. Great coaching. Not too good of a defense, but like I said, their offense can carry them. Trying to figure out what that was. Anyway, so some things I'm not worried about with Colorado. I'm not worried about Shador. I'm not worried about Travis. And I'm not worried about the running back and wide receivers. That's basically the entire offense I'm not worried about. Except for that O-line. The O-line has to show me something today. Not like they're on a prove it week or, they're on the hot seat or anything like that. Or they're, it's getting critical for them. It's not. My only thing is they got to show me something in this game, because this is probably going to be the best D-line that they played not in the Pac-12. Like I said, they're not going to play a lot of D-lines. Oregon is going to be nice. USC might be okay, but their defense isn't all that either. But you're definitely going to have a fight on your hands versus that Oregon D-line. Oregon, for some reason, is a lot of finesse, fast guys. But when it comes to that D-line, those guys are 6'8", 6'6", or better, 270, 240. Like, they have, like, the hybrid ideal rusher and big boys. Like, it's crazy. I don't know. But, Of course, we got Islanders on the West Coast, so that's a little bit to it, but they just be having ballers, period, bro. So, Nebraska, if y'all can come out, Big Ten, show them folks what's going on in the trenches, you guys can have a shot at this game. You can fuck around and beat Dion. Like I said, man, I'm worried about the O-line and I'm worried about the defense. I'm not really worried about the defense, but like I said, they got to show me something too. These are just things to watch, man. You got to watch that O-line. Even if it's not the action that's going on, you want to watch the quarterback dropping back, you want to see the receivers running their routes and see where he's going to throw it and watch the ball in the air. Couple plays, take off, and just watch the O-line. See how deep those guys are getting pushed back. See if they're staying on the line. See if there's holes opening, or see if Shedeur has to scramble, or, just see what's going on. See if those guys, man, is holding water, if they're sturdy. And I want you guys to look at the Nebraska D-line to see what type of push they get. Because if these guys can whoop up on this O-line, I'm sure USC, Oregon State, those guys can whoop on this line as well. We're going to get down to the nitty gritty here, man. Like I said, again, Colorado. Like I said, man, I don't have too much to say about Colorado. We all know what we should be expecting, what to look for. I'm just telling you a couple things, the underlying things to look for. That O-line gave up 4 sacks last week. 4. Let's see what they do this week. Like I said, man, they shaky, and this is a real D-line. Should be a real D-line. So, let's see. What else? Their D-line got 0 sacks. Big goose egg last week. Goosey goose. So, this Nebraska team might be able to keep old Jeff Sims dry. Might be able to keep him clean, no grass, no water on him, nothing. Keep him from getting wet. If they could do that, maybe Jeff Sims don't look bad. We'll see, man. And in summary, I can't call it, bro. I don't know. I don't even know what I'm looking at. I don't know what I'm trying to project. I don't know what either of these teams are. Nebraska, I don't know if they're a bad team. I know it's a bad roster. That probably means they're a bad team. But Colorado, I really don't know what I'm looking at. And I don't know what I'm looking at in Colorado because I don't know what we were looking at in TCU. You see what I'm saying? So I don't know what I'm looking at in either one of these teams. Nebraska could be a horrible team because they lost to Minnesota. Minnesota. Or they could just be a good team that opened the season bad. TCU could be a horrible team because they lost a lot of players. Or they could be a good team who just started the season off bad. And Colorado could actually be good. Or Colorado could be bad and Dion put his whole entire summer and all these kids' hopes and dreams into this first game to shock the world. You never know. So I'm not even going to put a prediction on this. I'm going to say what'll happen if something happens. So if Nebraska can run the trenches, I think they win or they lose by 3 with a last-minute field goal. Shedeur drives Colorado into range and they get the field goal. Or if Colorado controls the trenches, it's all going to be down to the trenches in this game, I believe. If Colorado can control the trenches, they'll blow these fools out. They'll smoke them. 35-7. Something light like that. 31-10. 6, 31-9. Might be a lot of field goals for Nebraska. We'll see, man. But if they can run that ball, if Nebraska runs the ball down Colorado's throat, they can easily win this. As long as they run the ball and if they can control them trenches. Colorado has more of a easier path, more of a wider, spectrum type path to get there. Nebraska has one or two ways. We got to just overpower you guys and just straight show you up on defense, or we got to run the ball and just overpower you. And so, yeah, basically, man, Nebraska is going to win by brute force. If they win, it was because of brute force. If Colorado wins, it's because of just finesse, man. Not finesse. I don't want to say that because that's sometimes a diss. But it's going to be like they win because of straight up creativeness and athletic ability and just ballers, just stars and gamers and players. Like I said, they're just going to win because they're the better team. Straight up, athletically, they're just going to win. If Nebraska wins, coaching was a hell of a part of the game. But yeah, man, that's it. We got this game coming up in about 2 hours, man. So be expecting me to come on afterwards and talk about it. But if you are watching this video, go ahead, salute, subscribe, and like. It's your boy Chocolate Jesus, man. And we're going to tap back in with y'all one more time later on today. Love.